Hi, I'm home today and I wanted to show you how to pick squash flowers, harvest them for preparing to make on the stove. I use a method of battering them and uh, frying them, and they really turn out really tasty. So actually yesterday I was out on a trip, so this one here is no good anymore. You've got to harvest them on the day that they open. Like these open today, so I have to harvest them in the morning while they're open, because otherwise if you wait later on in the day they shrivel up like this. This one's a day old because it opened yesterday, so see what happens to you. It's unusable. But when they're nice and open like this, that's when you can pick them. So what I do is I just snip them off here. Let's do that. I'm going to put them over here, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. I just snip them off by the stem. One more. That one's going to be ready tomorrow. You can kind of tell. And some of these. So, okay. So then what I do is I usually pick them up and cut them right here at the bottom. So I'm just going to get the phone here so that camera show you that. Just snip the bottom, and I do that while I'm holding it, and then the this little piece falls out, which is, you don't want that. And then I find a place on the flower that is the shorter part, so that I can just snip up that and then open it out like that. And I'll do that with the other two. And then if I can't use them that same day, I think I'm going to do these tomorrow. These are some I've been saving over the week, and they keep really well in the refrigerator by putting them on a plate, a flat plate, and then just stacking them up, putting the plastic back over them, and then cover them with foil really tight, so that you can put them in the refrigerator then. And they will last up to, I've used them up to like a week, because and I'm on my trips over the week, and then I'll do them on a Sunday, and without time to do them in the every day. Right now I have some olive oil, about 1/4 cup of olive oil heating up in this pan here. Get really hot. And then I had these sitting over the week, as I, every morning I would cut them and then add them to the pile here. So there is a new one here. I think these are new from today. But I put plastic cover on them, and then foil wrapped them with aluminum foil to keep them, and then in the refrigerator to keep them nice and fresh. So now I got myself some oil here. I'm going to turn down this pan because I think it's probably hot enough already. And I put about 2/3 of a cup of flour in there, because this is quite a few flowers. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. And usually that's all that I do, but today I think I'm going to add in some Italian seasoning, just to see what will happen. Probably make it look not sparkly, but have a little bit of color in it. Okay. And then I'm going to put in some milk, and I'm just going to kind of put in, that was about maybe 1/4 cup. I'm going to take this fork to make a little batter here with this. It's hard to do this one-handed. Looks like I need a little bit more, but you want the batter to be sort of like thick enough where you can dredge the flowers in this. A little bit more. So So maybe a half a cup. Just, you know, just use your own judgment. I did make it pretty with the Italian seasoning in there. It's a lot easier to do this like with a whisk if you have both hands free. Like I'm holding the camera with one hand. Still feels a little bit thick. So maybe I'll go with a whole 2/3 cup. But you just kind of want to get it to where you can dip those flower petals in there. So I think this should be able to do it. There you go. And then when they come out, I'm going to add a little bit more salt and pepper on them for some flavor. I think that looks about right. Almost a consistency of pancake batter. And then I'm going to get a fresh fork here. And all I'm going to do is just put the flower petal in there. And then flip it over. And then take that whole thing. It should be closer to the pan over here. Take that whole thing and put it in here. But it broke, but that's okay. And these are called squash flower fritters. It's an Italian delicacy, and my father's side is Italian. Okay, so just do that, and then so you just put those in there and let them cook. I'll do another one here. And if you do them first thing in the morning, you can pick your flowers in the morning when they open, first thing, into sunrise. They should be open. And then they're open all the way up to about 10 o'clock, 10:30, depending where you live. And you don't want to wait till after that to pick them and to open them up and to put them in the refrigerator, because they will shrivel up right on the plant. And then they won't open again. They only open one day. So I'm just going to flip these over. That one turned out nice. A little golden brown, not too much, but they get a little bit stiff as they cook. There we go. And then I will cook up the rest of those after these four. So what I do is I put out a paper towel like this. All right, I've got another batch here. In fact, some of those older flowers in the bottom of the plate, I was having trouble getting them apart, so this one has about 3 or 4 flowers all together in it. But you can do that. It's very easy to make these. This one didn't have a lot of batter on it, but it still turned out okay. And I used up all that batter for, you know, about, well, this is more than one flower here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 2 flowers in each of these. So I had about 2/3 of a cup of flour to 2/3 of a cup of milk. And then just salt, pepper to taste. I think I'm going to go ahead and take these out. These ones look beautiful. And this one is a little bit lighter, but that's okay. Oh, that one looks nice too. Almost looks like a pancake, that one. So I take them and I put them on this paper towel to drain a little bit, and I'm going to shut the pan off there. I'm going to have to clean that up before I leave. I'm going to get back out the salt and pepper and the Italian seasoning here, because those other ones are really tasty. This is the first time I've ever put Italian seasoning on them. I usually make them more plain than this, but I just thought that might dress them up a little bit. So there's some more salt, a little bit more pepper on the top. Pepper doesn't want to come out. There it goes. And then some Italian seasoning. That makes them look really pretty. And then I'm going to get out a plate here. You only have to drain a few minutes. The paper towel will get the excess oil on it, so they won't be tasting greasy. Okay, get this one up. Okay. All right, take these over to the table. Those are my finches in the background. In fact, let me go take you over here and see them. Finch birdies! There's 8 of them. In fact, I gotta fill up their food and water before I go on this 4-day trip. Make sure they have enough. They're always active and tweeting all day. Okay, so now these are maybe cooled off a little bit so it won't burn my mouth. Let's try this one here. Oh yeah, it's really good. It's fluffy. The flour is cooked, so the flour is soft. It has that slight zucchini flavor, but not as strong as a zucchini itself is. So I hope you get to try these because it's an Italian delicacy and they're really good and they're simple to make, simple to grow, and as long as you can put the plants in a pot like that. Make sure they have sunlight and water every day. And when they start to flower, pick the flowers every day and put them on a plate such as this. Cover it with plastic. Cover that with aluminum foil and put it in the refrigerator. And they will last up to a week. And you can collect them throughout the week. Like, I don't get too many flowers, maybe I get 2 a day. And I don't want to, make just a tiny bit of batter and make a couple, although I've done that. But you can save them up for a few days and then make 6 of them all together. Or if you have more plants, you can dedicate some of the plants to growing zucchini itself, because once you pick the flowers, you're not going to get any zucchini. But I don't really grow them too much for that. I grow more for the flowers. Okay, so I hope this helps. I'm going to get ready for my trip now. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.